This is our Direktorat of Information System in Telkom University. For the first time, selamat datang. Terima kasih. Ini tim kami dari Direktorat Sistem Informasi. Mungkin sebelumnya saya akan coba perkenalkan. Introduce for myself. My name is Januar. Telkom University. I was Director of Information System. And then di sini juga sudah bergabung ada dua divisi. There is two division. For the first time is operation of IS or OPSI, we call OPSI, and then the second is responsi of the research and development of IS. Ada Pak Bani, Pak Udi di belakang.
Mr. Bani, I am manager of operation.
Mr. Bani is manager of operation information system in Telkom University. Di Pak Bani ada dua asisten manajer yang sudah bergabung di sini. Bu Nur Anggorowati yang berbaju kuning, kemudian Bu Maya Setiawati yang berbaju orange. Dan kemudian dari riset dan pengembangan R&D bergabung di sini mohon maaf Ibu manajer berhalangan hadir hari ini bergabung. Ada dua asisten manajer yang ikut bergabung yaitu Mr. Hilvan, di sana adalah asisten manager of research and development of IT. And then Ibu Amarilis. Mbak, dipanggilnya pengennya Mbak Nasir. Ibu Amarilisnya adalah asisten manajer untuk pengembangan aplikasi non-akademik information system. Mungkin untuk mengefisienkan waktu, langsung saja monggo kami serahkan untuk waktunya untuk tim dari Innovation Web. Silakan Pak Adi atau Mr. David.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Sebelumnya kami ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kepada Bapak dan Ibu Pak Anwar dan Ibu yang telah memberikan kami waktu untuk memperkenalkan perusahaan kami dan solusi yang yang telah kami buat dan implementasikan di universitas. Jadi hari ini kita akan memperkenalkan solusi yang pertama itu silabus plus Pak. Untuk nanti kita perkenalkan silabus plus itu didesainnya sebenarnya untuk university kalau misalnya mahasiswanya itu udah 5.000 ke atas Pak gitu kira-kira. Tapi kita juga ada SHEEJOOL Pak, itu produk solusi baru kita. Itu yang kita targetin itu yang small institution Pak, mungkin mahasiswanya masih 1.500, 2.000 Pak gitu. Tapi untuk saat ini kita akan pertama kalau saya boleh tahu student body-nya sudah 10.000.
Telkom University itu
19.000
ya.
Jadi ya mohon izin kita akan perkenalkan silabus plus dulu Pak.
Okay. Right. I just very briefly.
Kalau ada pertanyaan saya ini, kita di-cut ya Pak.
So I speak in English, so I can do Bahasa. I'm based in Singapore. So we take care of the timetabling software business, essentially in Southeast Asia, including Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, and a few other places. So today I'm just going to run through the Syllabus Plus software.
Boleh Pak, boleh.
Nanti kita juga bisa share sekalian itu juga.
Dan ini mungkin nanti saya mohon maaf sebelum jam 11 harus kita karena ada pas lagi ada audit hari
Oh, ada.
di closing meeting dari ISO.
Iya Pak.
haven't yet. Okay.
But the rest are still there.
Okay. So I will. I think now before I go into the details of Syllabus Plus, thanks for having us. I'll just give a very brief introduction of what Syllabus Plus does, and we have a web-based application also, a web-based scheduling application that is working together with Syllabus Plus, so it works hand in hand. All right. Now, the Syllabus Plus application and our scheduling solution basically takes care of a few inputs. All right. You will look at, for example, your program of studies, your degrees, your different subjects or modules. Okay, and for each of the modules, what are the type of classes that needs to be run? Lecture, tutorial, lab, so on and so forth. And these are actually different classes, right? That has been scheduled. And you will see that the CTR 16. Then there is a name here. Basically, it's one of the teaching staff. So the application takes in inputs like what are the staff requirements, what are the staff that's needed to conduct a class. What are the venues requirements? Because venues requirements is also constrained by the size of the class. All right? The application takes care of all this information, including information like, including information like your preferences. So preferences are like, for example, you prefer the class to be conducted in the morning, not in the afternoon, for various reasons. Or for specific classes, you want it to be conducted in a particular building or particular type of rooms. All right. And these are the preferences that the system can automatically take in, and it will automatically schedule the classes. So all these classes here can be, the few most of doing it, it can be fully automated. It means you click a button, the system automatically schedule all the classes, or it can be semi-automated where you select where you want to schedule it. The system picks the venues and the staff and make sure they do not clash and allocate to the class. Or it can be fully manual. All right. So there are three ways of doing it. All right. And different institutions, they use it slightly differently. Okay. Now, so this just to orientate you on the screen. This is the list. This is the timetable view. So it runs from 8 a.m. Now we set it to about, I think, 8 p.m. No, wrong. Up to 8 p.m. Okay. Now it can run 24 hours. Then it runs from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so on and so forth, Sunday. Okay?
And the room also.
Sorry?
Room.
The room?
Scheduling includes room.
Yes, it includes room. So the scheduling includes the room, CTR 16. This is the class. Yeah, this is the class. So this is a class that is allocated with a room CTR 16, and the teaching staff, Canal, is teaching it. Alright, so it's fully automated. Whatever you see here can be represented by a listing here. So you can see a listing, the name of the class, the description of the class, the allocated staff, the allocated room, when it's conducted, start time, end time, and so on and so forth. There's a lot more information I did not put up. Alright. So if I want to put up more information, I can. So right click, show more information. There's a whole long list of data if I want to put up. Right. Obviously, different timetables will need different type of information, so you may not need all. So this is now the let me turn off some of the colors. Okay. The wonderful thing about the application is it can be fully automated, meaning that the application in real time will tell you where you can schedule and reschedule classes. So for example, you look at this class. Right, this is a class which is a group 4 for tutorial, accountancy tutorial. Okay, and they have about 10 students in one class. All right. Now the application then tells me that if I want to drag and drop, that means I want to retain the same allocated room and the same allocated staff. I can do drag and drop to wherever the blue diamond is. I can reschedule the class without clashing timetables.
Jadi gini Bapak Ibu, ini saya perkenalkan dulu sedikit, saya sedikit. Syllabus Plus ini sudah dipakai kalau di Singapura tuh 100% universitas di Singapura tuh memakai Syllabus Plus. Di Indonesia sendiri sudah 12 universitas Pak. Kalau di Malaysia tuh udah 10 mungkin kalau salah satunya itu Petronas Universitas, terus apalagi ya David ya, itu in type of university in Malaysia ya, that they are using syllabus plus. Nah jadi kalau di ini fungsi yang ini sebenarnya salah satu uniqueness dari syllabus plus. Saya kalau boleh buka sedikit, Pak Yanwar, ini kalau tender saya di PTN, ini kuncian saya Pak. Jadi ini sistem mesti bisa menjamin 100% tidak ada tabrakan. Jadi contohnya gimana yang dimaksud tabrakan, misalnya saya hari ini mesti ngajar jam 10 pagi, terus tiba-tiba saya dapat tugas dari Pak Yanwar, Mas Adi temenin saya ke Jakarta, kita ada rapat misalnya di kantor Telkom Pusat gitu. Terus nanti saya minta ke bagian akademik atau bagian IT yang diberikan akses untuk mengelola ini, tolong dong cariin saya option untuk membantu menggantikan jadwal kuliah saya gitu. Nah ketika ini diklik, keluarlah yang Blue Diamond kita sebut. Nah Blue Diamond ini adalah sesuai profiling saya sebagai dosen, sesuai profiling saya, sesuai profiling kelas dan sesuai profiling ruangan yang saya inginkan. Blue Diamond itulah yang menggambarkan ketersediaannya Pak. Jadi ketika ini dipindahkan ke misalnya saya hari ini hari Rabu jam 10, saya pindah ke Thursday at 12:30, dipindahkan kuliah saya besok ke 12:30, itu bedol desa Pak dan Ibu. Jadi saya punya mahasiswa 30 mahasiswa, saya pindahin ke hari Kamis, itu 30-30-nya selamat. Nah biasanya kan kalau misalnya semi otomatik atau ya pastinya kalau misalnya ada beberapa universitas, pastinya bukan di Telkom ya Pak, itu masih schedulingnya masih pakai pakai Excel misalnya, itu pasti tabrakan biasanya. Jadi ada 30 mahasiswa, 25 selamat, 5 tabrakan jadwal kelasnya dengan yang lain. Jadi kalau di sistem kami itu dijamin 100%. Ketika dipindahkan jadwal, 30 mahasiswanya selamat. Jadi kira-kira itu Pak.
So you see that, so for example, the application tracks, I cannot reschedule classes here, because these are if I right click on it, it will tell me that the staff that's teaching this class is already teaching another class called BS108 Tutorial Group 3. Alright, so these are all real time. The application tracks this real time to make sure that there are no clashes. Alright, and it also makes it easy for you to reschedule any classes. So you compare the blue diamonds here versus the blue diamonds. If I select this class, it will be different because they use different resources, they have different constraints. Okay, so basically the application very quickly helps you to schedule and reschedule classes. So I give you another example. Now this is another example where I'm looking for a class. I want to swap a room. So this particular case, this is accountancy tutorial running on Thursday 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Alright? And for whatever reasons, CTR05 venue, maybe the projector is spoiled. It cannot be used. I want change a room. So I can search, the application will tell me that CSR 04, CSR 11 or 12 is available. So you can then just accept it. So the application allows you to very quickly swap resources, still maintaining the same scheduled time, right? But you can swap resources very quickly. The application will suggest to you resources, rooms or staff that matches the requirements of the class. So for example, if your class requires a 20-seater, it will not recommend to you a 10-seater, right? If your class requires a specific type of teaching staff, it will not schedule someone else. Okay, so the application allows you to do it automatically and very quickly. Okay. Now, I just want to very quickly delete all the timetables, okay, and I'll show you how, from scratch, usually how it is done. So I'll just unschedule everything. Okay. We're just doing an update now. Alright, I'm just deleting all the timetables and then rescheduling again.
Jadi ini Bapak dan Ibu, ini sebenarnya fungsi nanti ada EDRM namanya, Enterprise Data Manager, terus Enterprise Cost Planner, ini Timetabler dan Account Manager. Jadi sebenarnya ini kita sengaja masuk dari sini karena inilah yang akan digunakan sehari-hari biasanya di universitas. Nah, data-data yang di sini sebenarnya itu dimasukin dari dua modul sebelumnya, yaitu data manager. Disitulah profiling dosen, profiling ruangan, constraint-constraintnya, waktu-waktunya semuanya kita masukin di situ. Terus yang cost planner itu kurikulum Pak. Jadi kalau mau mata kuliah wajib, mata kuliah pilihan dan sebagainya, kalau dia mau jadi S1 akuntansi, apa aja yang mesti diambil, itu semua diamprokin di sana. Nah, dari dua data itu Pak di-connect, muncullah di sini gitu. Nah, disinilah yang kita gunakan sehari-hari.
Alright, so basically now I'm selecting all the classes. There's only about 259 classes. Give you an example how fast it is. In Singapore, 30,000 classes, I've done one myself, 30,000 classes. It's about 5 minutes. You reschedule for the entire 2 semesters. The engine is running on LIPS, so it's an AI engine, so it can schedule things very quickly. So now if I just select schedule, select all the classes, you initialize, alright, and this is how fast it's scheduled. About 259 classes in about 6 seconds. Okay, so the application is really fast. You can do a decentralized model where if for Telkom University you may have different schools or different timetables that's taking care of different things. They can then share the same data to do scheduling, or in some cases we have another institution in Singapore, about 15,000 students. They are doing centralized timetabling, right? So they are timetable all together for all the schools across the institutions, right? So this is actually all being scheduled already. So you can see that. Let me just select some of them. Sorry, there you go. So I'm selecting one of the AC101 tutorial classes. These are all the lists of the different groups: Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, Group 4, and so forth. Group 6. All right, and this is how they are being scheduled now. All right, I can put different preferences to force it to schedule a different way if I want to. So for example, I could say, if you look at this very carefully, right, there's black. Black means that this particular, all the classes under this particular subject cannot be created between 8 to 9 a.m. Okay, and you will see that on a Saturday it's totally black. Means that the whole of Saturday it cannot be scheduled. All right, the application only schedules these classes on a weekday, and if you look at it carefully, it's always in the morning. Very likely we put in an additional preference to try to influence the engine to schedule all these classes in the morning instead of the afternoon. So all these are done automatically. The thing that I want to put forward as well is that the system does not replace man or manpower, does not replace timetables, because the system requires all these key inputs, all this domain knowledge, all the requirements from your different institutions to be put into the system. What the system does is it just automates whatever that you instruct it to automate. Right? So you can set up different constraints, set up different parameters, and the application will automatically schedule these classes for you based on your constraints. Now, just moving right along. Now, I just want to also show very quickly, like for example, you have, I can view timetables by modules or subjects. Do you call it modules or do you call it subjects here? Modules? Module, yeah. Module, right? Module. So these are the modules. These are the classes under the modules. Right? So I can reschedule any classes under the module just from the module view. Okay, just reschedule like that. And these are all clash free. Right? These are entirely clash free. Okay. So the application will schedule these classes based on a certain parameter and setup that you specify, based on the certain requirements, based on the preferences. Now, if I turn on the colors, you will see the different levels of green, the high greens and the low greens. Green actually represents the preferences that you specify. So if a particular slot is a high green, it means that most of the preferences that you specify are met. So if you move this class, which is the one highlighted, from here to here, more people will be happy. It could be the estates people, it could be the teaching staff, you know. But if you move this class from here to say here, 12:30, you see there's a low green. All right. It means that a lot of the preferences that you have set up, all right, for this particular class has been broken. These are not hard constraints. They are all available. There's no clashes, but the preferences, you know, perhaps this is 12:30 is the afternoon time. Maybe the preference is that don't start any class at 12:30. You know, try not to. All right. So these are preferences that application allows you to set up automatically. Now I can view timetables by module. I can view timetables by venues as well. So I can see, for example, CLT02. These are all the classes using this particular location. I can compare a few of them. I can select a few of them. CSR 11, CSR 12. You know. So you can view all this very quickly. You know whether a particular room is free or not. So from here you can see that all these spaces are not being scheduled using the room. So for example, if you want to schedule this particular class to somewhere around here, you select the class, and you can see that where the blue diamonds are, I can just move it without clashing timetables. Okay, so this is one example, right? And you'll see that this is not a good example. This class, for example, is a weekend class. You will see that all the different Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday is all being blacked out. Right, so it means that this is actually a weekend class. So you can see AC107 PT. PT stands for part-time. All right. So application again allows you to do all different types of settings. I can view timetables by staff members as well. All right. And I can reschedule their classes from their perspective. Okay. I can view timetables by groups of students. These are student groups, right? This is one group of students in these classes. Right? So usually you will have you break up your student deliveries into different groups. So this is how it looks like. So just wrapping up on this particular application, just want to show you also that. You can set up different priority. There are many constraints and many preferences in the system, but not all preferences are the same. Some are more important, some are less important. So this application allows you to do this kind of scaling, right? 10 being the most important, down being the least important.
Jadi ini Bapak dan Ibu, ini istilahnya apanya ya? Untuk setelan ya Pak ya. Nah, jadi bisa dari activity, institution, student set, location, equipment, atau dari dosen. Nah, ini contohnya waktu kita udah pernah juga presentasi di ITB, Pak. ITB kan nggak ada lift ya, Pak ya. Jadi yang preferensinya itu yang dosen-dosen pilih sepuh kalau bisa location-nya di bawah aja gitu Pak. Terus ya pindahnya itu dari kelasnya itu nggak jauh-jauh amat, jadi di location-nya kita nggak bikin spread. Atau kalau di usage spread itu kita presentasi waktu itu di UGM, jadi yang senior-senior of the record itu maunya ngajarnya itu hanya Senin sampai Rabu Pak Elvan, karena Rabu malam sudah ke Jakarta semua Pak, ada kegiatan masing-masing gitu Pak. Jadi preferensinya seperti itu gitu. Nah dari sistem itu memungkinkan itu untuk dilakukan, tapi tentunya kan nanti dianalisa lagi apakah ada efek sampingannya gitu ya Pak ya. Tapi dari sistem itu dilakukan. Jadi ini kalau yang kita mau bikin tight itu klam Pak ininya. Jadi biasanya universitas swasta Pak yang misalnya fasilitasnya terbatas, space-nya terbatas, itu kita klam gitu. Jadi dosennya sehari itu penuh gitu Pak. Kalau yang klam itu yang di Bandung yang udah pakai ini di Unisba Pak. Unisba udah pakai Syllabus Plus. Jadi itu banyak yang di klam karena ruangannya itu terbatas Pak gitu.
So I'm going to move on to just show the next application. There are a few applications here. Alright, I'm not going to show all applications, but I'm going to show some of the key applications to help you understand. So I basically show the application that helps you do timetabling. Right. So I'll just show another application to help you understand how we set up the requirements for each class, meaning the room requirements, the staff requirements.
Jadi ini menu tampilannya Pak. Sebenarnya tadi yang kita sudah buka tuh di Enterprise Timetabler.
Oh. Itu yang Enterprise Timetabler itu web based atau offline di PC?
Ya, jadi ini nanti ketika kita login kan loginnya web based gitu Pak. Nanti itu image-nya di download ke laptop kita. Nah nanti kalau itu bisa dikerjain offline atau online Pak. Nanti habis itu ketika kita save kita balik lagi Pak. Nah karena ini untuk large data Pak, makanya approach-nya seperti itu. Tapi yang tadi saya bilang yang SHEEJOOL yang terbaru itu Pak, itu semua udah web based. Jadi kita pakai iPad pun bisa Pak. Bapak bisa pakai tabnya Bapak tuh udah bisa dilakukan seperti itu. Oke, itu.
Okay. Just let it load. It's just still loading. Just make sure let's check.
Dan ini juga sudah di 6 bahasa Pak. Jadi bahasa Inggris, bahasa Spanyol, bahasa Arab, bahasa Indonesia pun juga sudah ada Pak. Tapi to be honest, kalau bahasa Indonesia agak bingung juga sih Pak. Windows jadi jendela.
Yeah, I think it's because of the. Oh, it's going up. So this is how we set up basically the different, this is for one particular subject or class type. This is accountancy, tutorial, okay? Sorry, accountancy lecture, and this runs for about, okay, let me just click this off, runs for about an hour, and there are 60 students in the lecture, okay? And from here, I can select the location. So this is what we call suitability. Suitability, what it means is we create a suitability, a grouping of venues, right, that we call Coniston building. So this refers to all the lecture theatres under Coniston building, or all the rooms. Then I've got another one which is called the lecture theatre. So this is another grouping of actually all the lecture theatres under this grouping. And what we're telling the application to do is to select one room from either one of these groups that best matches the class requirements. So the class size is 60, all right? The application will try to find a room that's about 60 or slightly above 60. All right, so it's a best match. Same goes for staff requirements. For staff requirements, we say specifically these classes must be conducted by Canal. All right, so basically you can specify, you can match resources to the class that you're going to be delivering. So for example, if a class requires a big lecture theatre or a particular room, you can basically specify the requirement under the location requirement. Similarly, you can also specify that a class is supposed to be taught by a particular lecturer or from a group of lecturers, one of them. Okay, so this is one of the features. The other thing you will notice that the application allows you to do what we call hard and soft constraints. Gray means that the application will completely not schedule any classes on 8 AM and 9 to 10 AM. Whereas white means that the application will allow classes to be created in these white areas. Now similarly, for preferences, the deeper the green goes, it means most preferred. The deeper the red goes, it means least preferred. So if I say that I prefer not to have any classes after 5, I can block it out as red, or in the morning, but I prefer it during morning from 9 to 12, less preferred from 1 onwards. Alright, so the effect is that the application will try to schedule all the classes in the green areas and try to the red areas.
Jadi Bapak Ibu, ini sebenarnya kalau bagi pengelola ininya kita Bapak dan Ibu rahasianya kita gitu. Jangan sampai dosen semua tahu gitu. Karena kita biasanya ketika implementasi kita advice-nya itu yang bisa punya milih constraint itu hanya ya kayak pimpinan universitas, fakultas atau prodi, sekprodi gitu, sampai ke level itu. Jadi karena mereka kan juga selain ngajar juga punya jabatan struktural ya Bu ya. Jadi kalau semuanya seluruh dosennya mau diginiin, itu kan likely semuanya ingin prime time kan. Jadi jam 12 atau jam 1 udah selesai gitu Pak. Jadi ini biasanya kita advice-nya seperti itu.
Okay. So essentially, this can be applied to staff. All these setups can be applied to staff. The green and the reds can be applied to the rooms. All right. So how do you apply staff for this particularly? If let's say you want to know from the HR system when they're going to leave, right? When they're available, when they're not available. Part-time staff, for example, which are the dates they're available to teach, which are the dates they're not available to teach. Then perhaps for staff, there's some preferred timing. They maybe want to teach only in the morning, try not to do it in the afternoon. So all this you can apply to staff, resources, rooms, students, your modules, your classes, you know, and it makes the application very versatile, right? Very customizable for you to specify all your requirements. Okay. Now I'm going to get out of this screen, and I'll just show you very quickly the last application. I'm not showing all the features simply because I think that there's too much to cover, but I just want to cover the key functionalities and for you to have a look at it and see what you think. But actually this application also covers, for example, your programs. All the different programs will be listed here. The different modules, the modular, correct? Your students groups, Alright, then the different classes, all these are the classes that are generated by the templates. So for example, if your module size is 100, and each of your classes, each of your tutorials is only 10, the application using the template will generate 10 classes, 10 groups. So it's all done automatically. You can also override it. At any point, whether it's scheduling, whether it's creation of classes, you can always override it if you do not want to. I'm just running this last application. I'll show you some reports. Maybe I can show some reports first.
Jadi Bapak dan Ibu, kalau saya boleh nambahin, nanti bisa juga kita demokan. Sistem ini mengcover biasanya rata-ratanya yang dialami universitas itu pergantian kurikulum ya Pak ya. Jadi kurikulum lama dan kurikulum baru itu digabung, gimana akomodir yang anak-anak mahasiswa yang udah ngambil kurikulum yang lama ya Pak. Terus sekarang kan ada kurikulum baru, itu juga bisa diakomodir di sini. Terus tim teaching Pak, itu juga diakomodir. Terus habis itu misalnya kayak di Andalas tuh tiba-tiba sebenarnya 3 kredit terus mau dipecah Pak. Satu kelas itu 3 kredit mau dipecah satu-satu gitu ya apa nggak ada masalah gitu Pak. Jadi so far sih kalau unless ada perkembangan yang terbaru ya Pak untuk tantangan dan challenge-nya universitas di Indonesia, kami rasa kita udah bisa cover semua.
Class occupation itu ada di sini?
Ada Pak, class occupation semua, class utilization rate semua ada.
Jadi kalau misalnya tahun depan student body kita nambah,
ya,
jadi bisa kira-kira kebutuhan kelasnya segini gitu?
Bisa Pak. Nah itu sebenarnya yang dilakukan di Unisba Pak, kalau saya boleh buka sedikit story-nya. Unisba itu yang daftar itu 7.000-an Pak biasanya setahun. Terus sebelum pakai sistem kami, mereka hanya berani menghandle 1.800 Pak. Nah setelah kita mau implement, kita assess, kita kumpulin kan Pak berapa jumlah ruangan, dosennya semua. Karena kita juga mesti mempertimbangkan akreditasi dosen kan Bu ya, akreditasi prodi kan, jumlah dosen sama mahasiswa. Nah ternyata Unisba itu sebenarnya masih bisa nerima sampai 2.700 Pak dibandingkan 1.800. Jadi akhirnya Unisba itu hanya nerima itu utilization rate 95%. Tapi akhirnya pimpinan nerimanya itu di 2.500 saat itu. Nah, itu ketika diimplementasinya itu kemarin tahun 2011 Pak. Nah kalau kita hitung, kita spread Pak Yanwar dari 1.800 ke 2.500 Pak, itu kan ada penambahan 700 tuh Pak. Sebenarnya 700 itu kalau dalam cycle-nya anak sarjana misalnya 5 tahun ya Pak, itu nilainya 95 miliar Pak bagi Unisba. Jadi selama ini Unisba kehilangan potensi revenue 95 miliar hanya gara-gara tidak menggunakan space secara optimal. Nah jadi karena itulah dihitung, Bapak kalau jalan-jalan ke Taman Sari sebelah Rektorat kan sekarang lagi bangun gedung baru tuh Pak, 9 lantai. Itu sebenarnya gara-gara pimpinan dan yayasan sudah bisa confidence dan dia pengen growth seperti apa, sebenarnya nanti nerimanya bakal nerima seperti apa, dan dia udah mulai nih Pak. Sekarang Unisba udah mulai 11.000 Pak mahasiswanya gitu Pak. Waktu ketika sistemnya dipasang 2011 itu masih di 8.000. Target mereka tuh di 15.000 Pak. Jadi dia bisa jadi nggak pakai feeling Pak. Jadi pimpinan tuh ketika mau growth dia ngelihat.
Dan setelah diimplementasikan aplikasi ini, ya boleh tahu kira-kira okupansi ruangannya udah jadi berapa? Apakah bisa 80%, 90%?
Unisba 90% Pak.
90%? Setiap ruangan itu ya? Iya, dan dia 90%, terus habis itu dulu mahasiswa itu sampai satu ruangan 60 Pak, sekarang 40. Terus jam isoma dulu, ini yang bikin sedih Pak, jadi title-nya Islam Bandung gitu Pak, tapi isoma dihantam untuk kuliah Pak, dikira nggak ada ini. Sekarang isoma semua berhenti, terus perkuliahan hari Sabtu itu cuman yang dosen tamu Pak, dosen ini gitu. Jadi berusaha apapun tuh di scratch Senin sampai Jumat gitu.
Terus kalau mengcover misalnya gini, kelas biasa itu isi 40,
Ya,
tapi ada hari-hari tertentu, jam-jam tertentu lab.
ya,
Nah, isi lab ternyata 20,
ya,
split kan bagi 2 tuh.
ya,
Itu bisa mengcover nggak sih schedule ini?
bisa. Nah sekarang tergantung approach-nya Bapak. Jadi nanti kita set, he's asking about the class and lab, David. How to set up the lab. You can show it later, ya.
Yeah, actually this is a listing of all the different rooms.
Ya,
Yeah, and then the labs will be, I can create something called English lab. Then I put all the rooms under the lab, for example. Yeah.
Jadi tergantung Pak. Misalnya lab di sini, misalnya lab saya ngambil accounting ya Pak ya, accounting 101, labnya kan ada lab accounting 101. Kalau di sini cara nilainya apakah kalau si mahasiswa lulus lab tapi nggak lulus mata kuliahnya, apakah labnya dihitung, atau kalau dia untuk lulus mata kuliah ini labnya juga mesti lulus. Nah itu nanti itu ada, karena ada perbedaan tuh Pak. Nah kita tergantung approach dari Bapak. Terus nanti sistem juga, misalnya tadi Bapak 40 gitu Pak, 40 lab cuma 20. Jadi sistem kita masukin aja Pak 40 kelas untuk lab 20. Sistem tuh langsung mengalokasikan 3 ruangan, bukan tiga kali ini gitu ya Pak, 3 kali kegiatan gitu Pak ya, dengan ruangan sesuai constraint-nya. Kalau lab kan udah punya preference-nya untuk lab tuh di mana-mana aja gitu Pak. Kalau ruangan juga udah, jadi udah istilahnya udah dihitung.
Nanti mahasiswanya gimana milihnya? Kan kebagi gitu.
Gimana Pak?
Mahasiswa kan 40 tuh,
Ya.
ngebagi yang 20 duluan itu sih di ruangan
Ya.
mana atau duluan itu gimana?
Nah jadi ini approach ya Pak. Jadi schedule itu keluar dulu Pak, dipublish sebelum mahasiswa register. Jadi mahasiswa di situ sudah, ya kan register online ya Pak ya. Mahasiswa di situ sudah bisa membuat roadmap-nya sendiri. Dia mau ambil lab yang mana, yang diinginkan gitu Pak. Tapi bisa aja kan Pak, misalnya dosen lab yang A lebih enak dari B. Nah itu nanti hubungannya sama
dosennya yang sama.
Oh dosennya yang sama ya Pak. Kalau dosennya sama berarti kan harinya Pak. Misalnya yang satu hari Senin, satu hari Selasa gitu Pak. Nah nanti mahasiswa silakan milih di situ. Tapi intinya logiknya di sini sebelum register, universitas itu sudah mempublish schedule dan sudah mengalokasikan ruangan beserta dosen.
Jadi nanti tinggal mahasiswa yang milih.
Tinggal mahasiswa yang milih Pak.
Itu ada kemungkinan bentrok enggak?
Enggak Pak. Itu kita jamin 100% Pak. Karena memang ya ininya di situ Pak.
Terus kalau kelas bersama, jadi kita ada beberapa kelas yang disatukan di
Iya.
satu dosen meng-cover juga.
Bisa Pak, bisa. Jadi
bentrok juga.
nggak bentrok juga Pak.
Okay, so so this is just the various staff listing, right? This information comes from your system, all the different lecturers, which department they're teaching, and what we can do is then we can group them under suitabilities. Suitabilities, we can say that they are teaching a particular. We can create a new suitability here and say they're teaching, say, engineering. All right. So let's say I create something called engineering, and then I can select that the staff that's teaching engineering are this group. Okay, and I can apply it. So essentially then I can then use this information, engineering, the one I just created, to apply to the class. Alright, and I tell the system that select one of the engineering staff to teach a particular tutorial or to teach a particular lecture. Alright. Right? Similarly, we group all these different rooms together, lecture theatre. This lecture theatre, for example, consists of all these rooms. Then again, we can use this grouping and attach it to one of the template, the class, one of the classes, and tell the system to choose one of the lecture theatres under this grouping called lecture, under the grouping called lecture theatre.
Essentially, one subject has to teacher.
Yeah. You can do. So remember the requirement can put 1, I can also put 2. You know? So you look at this here, you can have many teachers, you get many rooms, doesn't matter. So I'm going to one of the subject. So you can see that under teacher staff, I can select, I'm loading too many things here. I can select more than one staff. So for example,
More than one teacher.
yeah, more than one teacher. I can select more than one room as well. Usually you don't do that. Sometimes you combine rooms. Yeah, we have an application called, we have a feature called avoid concurrency. We can build from big rooms to small rooms, depending how we build it up.
Jadi begini Mbak, posisinya sistem ini Mbak. Jadi sistem kita ini bukan sistem informasi akademik Pak.
Iya.
Jadi
jadwalan kan?
Iya, jadi kalau di Indonesia bahasa tender kita tuh sistem tata kelola dan optimalisasi berbagi sumber daya akademik Pak, resource sharing Pak. Gitu. Jadi kita itu tidak pernah approach-nya untuk berusaha menggantikan sistem informasi akademik, karena biasanya tiap universitas kan udah bangun sistem informasi akademik masing-masing Pak. Justru kita itu semakin kuat dan semakin bagus sistem informasi akademik Pak, itu kita semakin senang Pak, karena datanya lengkap Pak. Kita nggak perlu melakukan data cleansing yang ini gitu. Jadi kita itu justru komplimennya Pak dengan sistem informasi akademik.
Yeah. So so I just wanted to show you that only. But essentially, yeah, you can keep a listing of your staff, whether it's part-time or full-time staff. And you look at this, which is, it may apply to you or not, but you can also share your rooms. Whether you want to share with a particular department, or you want to share across all departments. Right? The application allows you to do that as well. Okay, so sharing of rooms, a feature, so you can see here, share with all, so we share with all departments.
Okay. Can this, the output is like recommendation or something? I mean, in ideal situation, we can scheduling like this, yeah. But sometimes, with that student bagi growing more and more,
Yes.
gitu ya, with static amount of classroom, and we have some recommendation for ideal
Yeah.
situation.
So the training, which is what this Blue Diamonds is for.
Yeah.
Blue Diamonds recommends the places that you can schedule without clashing. The Greens recommends whether it's the best place to schedule.
Yeah, but that already exists, right? I mean, the room has an exist, right?
Analytical.
Yeah, like
From
analytical.
report, they want to see the report. They want
Oh,
to
the
see
room hasn't existed yet.
Yeah, that's why can this like how many room we have
capacity
to-
planning,
Iya.
capacity
Ideal
planning,
situation.
Tadi saya
capacity
bilang,
planning. They
tahun
want
depan
they
itu
want to grow. If they now is 19,000, they want to grow to 30,000 lah Pak ya. So how many rooms they need to build? So they need to see the pattern from the
This
report.
This information needs to be generated basically from two ways. From a report. So from the report we can generate something like that. We don't have it now, but we can generate a report, we can customize a report, right, based on your capacity, based on what you're planning ahead. So if you look at and just coming back to that point about planning ahead, the application also allows you to plan ahead, what we call planning formula. So you can plan ahead that you want to, so let's say increase the size by 100, or a certain percentage by 20%, which means increase the student body by X percentage. The application allows you to do that. So once you apply this to the module or to the program, the capacity will automatically size up.
Ini
the number of classes will be generated, and the application will then we can write a customized report.
Like simulation.
Yeah, to simulate how many rooms is required. So this is already whatever you're asking is also building, because it's a quite common feature, common request for a lot of institutions. We are serving about 500 institutions worldwide. 500 universities particularly are using the application for generating timetables. So a lot of these requirements that you have, you might have already in the application.
So this application will running well if the data is complete, right?
Is what?
The data is complete.
It may not be complete. So for example, I can schedule classes, right, without staff information, only rooms. Sometimes I can schedule without rooms information, only staff. Then when the schedules are all packed nicely, I'll then allocate, when I've got room information, then I allocate rooms into the classes.
By default.
Yeah, application automatically do that. So for example, like if you look at this here, so let's do this as an example. I unschedule everything now. What I'll do is I'll just schedule with staff, assuming we only have staff information. We don't have rooms information, right? We do a two-stage. Schedule with staff first, later then we allocate rooms to it. Okay, so now, schedule special. I don't have venues information, I only have staff information and my students information. I may not have, but I'm just assuming we have now. So we schedule. Now the application you will see in a while's time, it will only show allocated staff. There's no allocated rooms. So then maybe at this point of time, later part of time, you already have rooms information. Now you have rooms information. Instead of changing any timetables here, we can select all again and schedule special. This time, allocate the rooms to it. Right? And then after a while, you will see that the rules will be displayed here. So you can actually schedule with incomplete information, because typically that's sometimes how it works. Sometimes, particularly with part-time staff, you may not have part-time staff information. Alright, or maybe the allocation of a particular room is not confirmed yet, so you don't have the venues information. So you can play around with this.
This is basically used in the beginning of registration or operational also.
During operational and in the beginning of registration. So depending on your model, some institutions they will only do timetabling after registration. Some do that. Some institutions that I've seen, they do it before registration. They pre-plan. Alright.
Is it flexible if one lecturer want to have replacement class this week?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Yes, you can just create the activity, a class. You can create here, or you can create on our. There's another web-based application called Schedule. Alright, I'm trying. Yeah.
This is the interface, yeah, for
information.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So this is the back. This is the back end. Let me try to get into the front end. With a web-based version of the application, basically allows you to, it simplifies, okay, this is like administration, you need to train a person to do this. But sometimes you want to open up the application to a lot more people. You want a lot more people to participate, to do it themselves. Then we created something which is more simplified, all right? Here, you can select, let me see if I can select. Same thing, I can select, these are all the different classes. These are the different places I can move the class. It's entirely web-based. Alright, circle means that I can move it without clashing timetables.
without
Clashing the timetables. Because every class, every box, it has a room allocated, it has a staff allocated. So you want to make sure that it doesn't clash anyone's timetable. So let's select another one. And I can just move this around and say, reschedule here. Alright. And I can create a new class, ad hoc class. You were mentioning about ad hoc class. I create a new ad hoc class. Alright. I can fill in details and I run schedule again.
Kalau yang ini jadi dia istilahnya semua profil dimasukin aja, Bapak tutup mata, oke,
sistem
udah keluar gitu Pak.
Kalau yang manual ini bisa mencegah bentrok juga.
Oh, dia mencegah bentrok, prevent.
Karena kan tadi profil kelas orang udah
kan. This is a guarantee no clash Pak.
Ya, guaranteed no clash.
Makanya kita tadi yang saya iniin, kita yang ini biasanya yang institusi 2000 mahasiswa gitu loh Pak, sekolah tinggi atau gimana gitu. Tapi kalau udah sebesar Telkom Universitas pakai ini mabuk Pak.
Iya, kalau manual gitu.
Iya, mabuk Pak.
Sama kayak Excel aja ya. Terus kalau misalnya kita itu ada 7 fakultas.
Iya.
Setiap fakultas punya gedung masing-masing.
Iya.
Jadi fakultas teknik itu nggak bisa pakai gedungnya fakultas ekonomi.
Iya.
Nah, kalau tadi itu master ya, semua data input dimasukkan gitu.
Iya.
Itu nanti kalau di kita tuh tiap-tiap fakultas tuh berhak gitu mengawatnya sendiri.
Iya.
Itu
ada
ininya.
Jadi pertama dari approach location itu udah di zoning Pak.
Di zoning.
Tapi kita bikin zoning. Jadi istilahnya zoning ekonomi gitu Pak, zoning ini gitu ya. Terus tiap jadi approach Bapak itu barusan tuh disebut kalau di kami itu decentralized Pak. Jadi kan ada centralized, decentralized, sama-sama bagus nih Pak, tergantung universitasnya aja. Nah kalau decentralized nanti could you show the account manager, the manager,
Cost banner.
No, the manager. Go to ya.
Oh,
Itu Pak dari authorization manager Pak, authorization manager. Nah di sini bisa di set Pak. Misalnya rektorat tuh punyanya helikopter view Pak, bisa ngelihat semua. Nah nanti dekan tapi hanya bisa lihat per fakultas Pak. Nanti di set lagi per prodi hanya bisa per prodi Pak, itu bisa juga.
Tapi suatu saat ada kuliah umum, anak-anak dari beberapa fakultas bisa disatukan tanpa ada bentrok gitu.
Ya itu kan butuh ininya. Kalau beberapa fakultas kuliah umum di ini, itu kan berarti Pak Warek 1 ya Pak ya. Nah Warek 1 kan bisa ngelihat helikopter view tuh Pak. Nah jadi tergantung approach-nya aja sih Pak. Nah jadi kita nanti ada power admin atau apa yang bisa read and write gitu loh Pak. Ada juga yang hanya bisa untuk melihat saja Pak.
Jadi kita itu ada akademik pusatnya, itu yang berhak untuk mengatur semuanya. Tapi ya prodi yang kecil-kecil di fakultas itu ya kalau nggak ada yang bersatu ya mereka berhak untuk.
Iya, mereka punya independensi masing-masing Pak. Jadi sistem tuh sebenarnya yang kontrol masih Bapak dan Ibu gitu loh. Bapak dan Ibu maunya SOP-nya seperti apa, sistem akan ikutin gitu. Jadi kita ini gini Pak, ini sistem bukan kita yang tahu-tahu punya ide, bangun yuk, ini sistem gitu Pak. Jadi sebenarnya kita tuh tiap tahun ada user conference Pak. Ini kan awalnya originalinya dari University of Cambridge Pak. Nah Innovest ini termasuk pemegang sahamnya Sentia ini Pak, yang pencipta ini. Nah jadi kalau untuk Southeast Asia kita yang iniin Pak, yang memasarkan dan menjualnya gitu. Tapi di Australia juga ada Pak. Nah di Australia, New Zealand itu udah 95% universitas di Australia, New Zealand tuh pakai ini juga. Jadi tiap tahun itu satu Asia Pasifik itu ada user conference. Nah di user conference itulah tiap tahun universitas macam-macam dari National University, Singapore University, dari misalnya Melbourne University, dari kita pun juga datang. Tantangan tahun ini nih gitu loh. Tolong dong dibuatin gitu. Nah bagi yang daftar juga maintenance kan udah termasuk tuh Pak. Jadi kita itu bukan orang IT ya Pak ya, bukan orang akademik. Tapi sistem ini kenapa udah berevolusi sampai ini karena input orang dari akademik, dari lapangan. Jadi kita ngikutin aja Pak, bukannya berusaha kita
tahu gitu Pak. Gitu.
Nah ini kalau misalnya
Ivan, Mr. Adi and Mr. Beksan, sorry.
Oh iya, no worries.
Closing meeting of
Sure.
ISO certificate.
Thank you so much. Thanks for time.
Terima kasih Pak.
Ada beberapa pertanyaan yang sudah saya titipkan ke teman-teman.
Oh siap.
Mungkin
Iya.
bisa diskusi.
Baik Pak, terima kasih
Oke,
Pak.
thank you.
Terima kasih.
jadi kan kita udah punya ya aplikasi itu sendiri ya.
Iya.
Ini penjadwalan ini nanti untuk berkomunikasi dengan aplikasi kita seperti apa itu?
Itu they're talking about the integration to their
Existing
existing.
application.
We have application called SPDA, Syllabus Plus Data Adapter. We have done this integration for all kinds of systems. Meaning, basically we set up a staging table. We define two sets of tables: inbound tables, outbound tables. Inbound tables means the data that we need to extract. So you see the information like programs and modules. You don't have the keynotes information. Usually you have that information sitting somewhere. We extract that and put it into the central database. We'll retrieve it. And then when we finish the timetabling, all the information flows back into the central database and it goes back into the system.
So without any interruption with human.
Yeah, no human intervention. We don't have to manually key in. Because you go crazy, I key so many. So all these information are all fully integrated. So you don't have to key in. We just get the information from your systems. After you finish your timetabling, you push it back. The application will push it back into your existing systems. That's typically how it works.
Jadi enaknya ini Pak, sebenarnya kerja kerasnya cuma setahun pertama aja Pak. Kalau Bapak udah punya dataset genap sama ganjil Pak, kan udah ini tuh Pak, udah ada template-nya. Paling tahun depan kan ganti-ganti dikit-dikit Pak. Jadi nggak perlu repot-repot. Biasanya kan yang paling orang Jawa tuh bilang memang mudeng itu kan wadek 1 ya Pak ya. Wadek 1 ketika mau mulai semester karena penjadwalan ini Pak. Jadi ketika yang penting kita selamat 1 tahun udah punya set genap sama ganjil udah Pak. Udah bisa ininya sendiri. Dan SPDA itu memang kita ciptakan untuk ini Pak, karena dari seluruh klien kita itu Pak ya semuanya pada punya sistem informasi akademik sendiri Pak. Nah jadi memang kita ciptakan itu untuk mengakomodir Pak. Staging database using
SQL Server.
Di sini pakai apa?
It can be Oracle as well.
Yeah, of course.
It can be within Oracle, within SQL Service, both. Are you using paper software?
Yeah.
Are you using campus solution here?
Campus solution no.
No.
We in-house development.
Yeah.
But for the timetabling software, we use an open source timetabling.
Do you find that this application will somehow fit?
I think it's more advanced because with FAT we use just we export and then we import to our application. Not real time, and then there is a human interruption in the process.
Would the university be considering a solution for timetabling? You think like something like Syllabus Plus, or are you looking for something?
Yeah, actually we start to need education for.
Because I see your size of students growing, right? 13,000.
And then
19,000. 19,000. Yeah.
I think the important from this application is the analyze for the growth.
The growth, yes. Yes. We have an institution in Malaysia when we first bought the application. They were on this verge of exploding in terms of student numbers. Right? When they first bought it, it was about 9,000 students. Today, there are about almost 18,000 students within 2 years. So they bought it just in time so that they can, because otherwise, once you have so many students, right, you start to have a lot of problems with scheduling and timetabling, because there's too many combinations, too many resources to manage. So for them particularly, because we also have limited rooms, it was very critical. Because it's either get our system or build a building which is millions of dollars. Yeah, so that was a big difference for them.
Yeah, because we have a report from the faculty also that there is no room, but when we see the in the afternoon,
it's empty.
It's empty room, a lot of empty room.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, where is the student or the lecturer? Where is the another space of?
Okay, sometimes, right, and this is what I've seen in other institutions, where I've done about 30, 40 implementations in universities across the region, not just Singapore, but across the region. But sometimes universities, in order to fight for more spaces,
Yeah, right.
they will tell you that they need to use the rooms.
We built the new building
Yeah.
with 600 room, right?
Oh.
We just built the new building
Not enough.
for this year
Oh, okay.
for the new intake
Yes,
new
yes,
student.
yes.
But we never calculated how many occupation the existing room, because I think with the 20,000 student is more enough this existing room.
Yeah.
We built a new.
One exercise that was done in the UK, and also I think it was done also in Singapore, was we are moving from old building to the new building. So one of the biggest questions they had was, what is the most ideal size for each room based on the delivery pattern? So I'm delivering lectures, I'm delivering tutorials for different modules, and for this group of modules, they were trying to find out at the time, what was the most ideal size? Was it 30, was it 40, was it 10, was it 50? So they used Syllabus Plus to do that, right? And they were able to get into a pretty good ideal size that really saved them a lot of money. And also make sure that the increase in the student intake can with the sizing that's been proposed by the system, it can accommodate the classes. So it was done in the LaSalle College of Arts back in 2009. So I don't know, just have a look at it and just let us know if it's something you want us to pursue together with you further. If you want to pursue further, then we will set up some.
Kita sangat open kok Pak format kerjasamanya. Tadi saya tertarik Bapak kan juga di R&D ya Pak ya. Ya apa kita tertariknya apa maksudnya kalau bisa jadikan sama-sama atau gimana kan untuk kedepannya universitas di Indonesia juga kan Pak yang lainnya gitu kita bisa membantu gitu Pak. Kita very open untuk diskusi itu Pak gitu. Nggak ada masalah gitu Pak.
What about the license? Is it on premise or?
Ya, license-nya biasanya gini Pak. License itu ketika universitas melakukan ke kami nih Pak, PTN misalnya kan tender tuh Pak ya. Itu license-nya itu seterusnya milik Bapak. Udah akan menjadi milik Bapak. Terus kita itu melakukan pendampingan setahun Pak. Udah termasuk tuh Pak, karena pas tahun biar supaya Bapak nyaman di ganjil dan genap gitu Pak. Nah, tahun keduanya, tahun ketiga dan seterusnya itu maintenance itu optional Pak. Kita Bapak mau ikut monggo, kita nggak nggak mewajibkan, tapi untungnya itu tadi Pak, kalau misalnya ikut, ketika ikut user conference kan tiap tahun Pak diadakan. Nah itu ketika ada feature baru, ya
kita update, dapat
pasti
update.
diupdate.
Tapi
gitu.
kalau servisnya nggak diperpanjang, update-nya nggak dapat.
Nggak dapat gitu Pak. Itu aja sih Pak. Berarti simple Pak, nggak ada jebakan-jebakan.
Jadi sebetulnya lisensinya tetap one time only gitu ya, untuk seumur hidup. Tapi update-nya kalau mau harusnya bayar yang servisnya.
Dan saya nggak ngitung, kita nggak ngitung jumlah mahasiswa Pak. Bapak mau 19.000, Bapak minggu depan tiba-tiba 25.000. Saya nggak ini Pak. Dan misalnya Bapak ada kampus lagi di mana, Bapak ada kampus tuh di Kalong atau gimana, ya silakan aja Pak. Kita
pokoknya nempel ke institusi aja.
Nempelnya ke institusi.
Ya.
Nah. Karena bisnis kita memang ini Pak, memang di universitas saja. Kita nggak ada bisnis, kita bukan software integrator Pak. Software integrator kan misalnya di industri A ada kerjaan IT, kita ini industri B, kita ini gitu. Kalau kita memang konsisten ini Pak. Ya dia nih sore ini akan langsung balik Singapura karena besok udah mesti ke National University of Philippines Pak.
Presentasi ini juga.
Ya lagi ini lagi hot juga sama mereka gitu Pak. Jadi emang kerjanya keluar masuk universitas. We only focus on the university business.
Yeah.
Especially timetabling.
Yeah, mainly our core business is in scheduling business, scheduling for universities, providing scheduling solutions, whether it's web-based, whether it's client application. We're starting to introduce also campus management systems, which is like an ERP, enterprise resource planning system for the entire campus. We're doing one implementation right now in Kuala.
Kalau ini juga Pak, ini kampus kayak kampus mobile. Ini kayak kampus mobile. Jadi ini kalau ini kan sisi mahasiswa terus ya, sisi pengelola universitas. Ini sisi mahasiswanya. Jadi nanti schedule mahasiswa masuk ke sini Pak. Nah ini bisa untuk make event gitu Pak. Nah kan per grup atau gimana. Jadi saya kan universitas banyak UKM ya Pak ya.
Yeah.
Paduan suara misalnya. Terus Pak Elvan kita latihan ya Pak. Jadi saya ngetek Bapak, ngetek Ibu, ngetek Mbak.
Ini udah include mobile ini.
Ini belum Pak.
Oh belum.
Nah.
Ini pakai Samsung.
Iya Pak.
Pakai Samsung.
Ini LG Pak.
Bisa nggak?
Tapi ada all cash di all cash nanti lewat sini aja.
All cash gimana Pak?
Coba Pak banding aja. Saya ngeriset ini aja.
Ini masukin ke
menu ini
display.
display setting apa berarti ya?
Ya,
Setting display smart video bukan?
Okay. Thank you so much. Let us know if it's something that you want to continue to pursue and find out more. I'd be happy to do more demos and to show you what fits for your institution. But just all we do, scheduling. Yeah, if you need if you need any inputs about scheduling, just come to us.
Is it? I see. You access the application from your laptop offline, right?
Yeah, it's offline.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on my. I run about 3 servers.
Minimum requirement to run
Yeah.
the application.
Most of the latest Windows servers is sufficient. Basically, you run on Windows, entirely Windows. Your application, your client will be all PCs. If it's web-based, it's either Safari, Chrome, IE.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
But the application
Always in Windows.
Unless it's web-based. The one that I showed you was
Yeah.
web-based, right?
Yeah.
There's another one which is web-based. You can do it on any platform.
Oh, yang tadi sedikit Pak. Jadi misalnya kalau UKM Pak, saya ngetek Bapak gitu kan. Nah nanti kalau Bapak accept, kayak calendaring lah gitu Pak, masuk ke timetabling kita Pak. Nah tapi kan di situ juga sebenarnya udah ada timetabling jadwal kuliah Bapak kan gitu. Jadi ini kayak personal asistennya si mahasiswa Pak.
Jadi untuk melihat jadwal saya di luar kuliah yang kosong.
Iya, jadi gabung jadwal kuliah kita, jadwal kita personal, jadwal UKM juga bisa. Dan ini juga bisa posting UKM kan Pak. Jadi kalau posting foto segala. Jadi sebenarnya kalau anak-anak sekarang kan pada main pad Pak.
Yeah.
Pad plus
scheduling, automatic scheduling Pak. Jadi ini juga bisa kita lagi ngembangin. Saya misalnya mau buka puasa barang bapak, barang ibu, tolong dicariin di atas jam 6.30 misalnya. Nanti ketika nyari, ternyata pada bisa 6.45 karena bapak baru selesai 6.30, saya 6.40, ibu 6.43 gitu. Nah kalau yang sekarang masih misalnya saya ngetek bapak 6.30, bapak masih bisa reject suggestnya berapa gitu, karena bapak ngelihat udah ada jadwal kan Pak, bapak ada tabrakan. Jadi kalau ini dari sisi mahasiswanya Pak.
Bisa integrasi juga sama itu Google Calendar atau?
Justru memang sama Google Calendar Pak.
Terus kalau sama apa yang
jadi ini Microsoft 360 Pak, bisa Pak. Kita memang udah ininya Microsoft. Jadi
cuman ini nggak include sama yang lisensi yang itu.
Enggak. Nah, ini kalau untuk kampus ini kan udah include sama Google Calendar juga Pak. Plus ada nilai Pak nanti. Jadi kalau akhir semester Pak, ketika misalnya ke profile, ini ada klik di sini, nanti nilai kita Pak, nilai nilai kuliah kita Pak.
Ya itu kalau diintegrasikan dengan sistem kita ya, nilainya keluar.
Nah, jadi ujian ini nilai kita keluar di sini, the grades. Tapi ya nanti mesti ada integrasi tentunya Pak. Jadi kira-kira seperti itu Pak.
Kita aplikasi
what is the name of your application timetable?
Syllabus Plus.
Schedule.
Schedule is a web-based.
Web-based.
Schedule. Yeah, schedule timetabler, and then Syllabus Plus. So schedule timetabler is actually a web-based application. They also includes room booking. So we have room booking. The whole idea is you want to be able to have a single platform application to manage all your facilities, right? So with the Syllabus Plus, it's more for pre-planned timetabling. That means you are planning for the entire universities. Then you always have these ad hoc changes, and you make it easy for users. So you use web-based schedule timetabler. Then you may want to allow users to book their rooms, create their own sessions. Then you can use a room booking system.
So the operational schedule.
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 Yeah.
The operational we use schedule.
Yeah.
And
The planning, Syllabus Plus. That's right.
Include curriculum in Syllabus Plus.
Sorry?
Curriculum.
Yes, in Syllabus Plus. That information that's in Syllabus Plus will also be sent to schedule timetabler that you can also make changes. Sometimes you want to create an ad hoc class.
Jadi master data tetap di silabus.
Master data is Syllabus Plus. In fact, the master data is in your system. We set into Syllabus Plus. Syllabus Plus manage the schedules, the timetabling.
So if I open Syllabus Plus from my PC, and then there is a admin also at the another room. It's synchronous data with
in sync. In sync. Whatever changes you do, you will trigger his application. He will also sync up.
Because my data update to SHEEJOOL gitu.
No, it updates into the Syllabus Plus server. Alright, from there you will do a notification to update the schedule servers as well.
The staging is real time.
Sorry?
Staging.
Real time. It's all real time.
Kalau SHEEJOOL itu sampai ini Pak, karena ad hoc kan Pak ya, jadi bisa ngatur kayak parkir segala Pak, mobil dinas yang mau dipakai, sampai seperti itu.
Kayak logistik.
Udah masuk ke situ Pak.
Sumber daya, betul-betul sumber daya.
Iya, sumber daya.
Sharing sumber daya.
Iya, atau sharing.
Tapi schedulingnya juga di Syllabus Plus atau gimana?
Enggak.
Di SHEEJOOL.
Di SHEEJOOL.
Jadi di SHEEJOOLnya sebenarnya bisa timetabling juga.
Iya, tapi ad hoc Mbak, ad hoc. Jadi
tadi yang web based yang menarik-narik.
Iya, maksud saya bisa nggak yang tadi logistik tadi kita timetabling tapi pakai schedule-nya nggak bisa?
Bisa juga.
Bisa juga. Jadi fitur saya masih nggak pakai sih. Jadi fitur di silabus itu nggak cuma untuk kurikulum, tapi bisa untuk apa
Sumber daya, ya bisa.
Jadi kita definisikan apa sumber daya apapun yang kita miliki gitu.
Iya Pak.
Di
makanya kan apa tadi yang saya share Pak, kalau nama ini kita kan berbagi sumber daya.
Iya, makanya tadi
resource. Ya.
Jadi sebenarnya bukan cuma buat
kelas.
Iya, not only for classes. Not only for classes, but cars, parking space with SHEEJOOL.
Actually, the idea came from one of the new developments that we did recently was to allow you to create any type of resources in the system. So the idea actually came from Petronas University, UTP, University of Technology Petronas. They wanted to be able to book buses with drivers because you know they are in Tronos, right? You went to Ipoh with Tronos. It's in the middle of nowhere. So one of the biggest problems for them was they want to be able to schedule buses with staff, with drivers. So then we created, we enhanced the system to be able to create. You can call it any type of resource. You can call it a bus, you can call it a bicycle, you can call it whatever, and then the application will schedule for you.
Because we are very far from this building to
so I mean all this is possible, yeah. I mean the application allows you to do it now.
This SHEEJOOL, can we custom the interface?
So then branding, all your branding, some of the user interfaces can be customized. Basically, mainly the branding, the cosmetic, colors, your school university, your university.
Telkom logo.
Tools is what? The tools for custom what?
It's actually
CSS.
customization is using CSS.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you have your template, CSS template, you can pass it to us. We can send
Or
it.
you have a dashboard to make a customized interface.
It's under development.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean like this, okay, this application have already complete lah ya, but sometimes we have like customizing what ya, rumus kali ya,
Yeah,
atau
new
apa,
requirements sometimes. Yeah.
formula ya.
Okay. I mean, some of those things, what you can do is we actually have quite a sizable number of users now in Singapore, Malaysia, and also we're introducing Indonesia as well. Basically, they have new requirements sometimes. You'll pass it to us. We'll consider the requirements. We see how we can fit into the next version. So on a year-to-year basis, we have an upgrade.
Oh.
Yeah. So we take in your requirements. We look at how to build it in. What's the best way to build it in? You know, there was a requirement for recently for to be able to specify whether a room requires video recording or not, like that. You know, so there was this requirement, and we didn't want to hard code into the application because it may apply to you, it may not apply to another institution. So we created a new feature called user-defined fields. So basically, for user-defined fields, you can create all your you define your labels that you want, you define the data that you want to collect, either attached to the venue or attached to a template. So when they do booking, if you turn it on, the application will ask, do you require video? So you can create. I mean, it can be not video. It can be, do you require lunch? Right? Do you require snack? But it's a feature that is generalized enough so that other users can reuse the same feature.
And then the staging data. For example, we already mapping schema lah ya, to your schema kan, this is have default schema lah. Di mapping data, but we have restrukturisasi data or something. We change this data structure. So we have to mapping.
We may have to make amendments to the staging data. Usually, the staging tables will make some minor amendments. But on top of that, we have built actually a first version of our web services. I'm not sure if you're familiar with web services. Basically, you can use our web services to push data into our application. Yeah, so instead of using staging tables, there's actually a set of APIs, web services, that we published that you can use it to push data. So the application, the APIs will support, for example, new data insert, or delete, or update. You know, so the APIs is doing that now. Schedule?
Schedule.
Syllabus plus.
Syllabus plus.
It's not only for academic, yeah. I thought earlier it's only
No, it's for facilities management.
Why?
Yeah,
Then
all
it's
facilities.
Because that particular application, the workflow, the different screens, is more tailored towards planning of timetables. But as you know, planning of classes, planning of timetables require facilities, your resources, your projector. So the application is like an ERP resource application, right? To make sure that the allocation of all your resources, your rooms, your projector, your equipment are optimal. Yeah. And in fact, I did not show a lot of features. For example, it supports equipment. I only talk about rooms and stuff. There's another one which is equipment. I did not talk about it. I didn't know whether you need it or not. Then there's another one which is pool resources. That means a pool of equipment shared by a pool of students. And you want to track, make sure that there's sufficient equipment to form that pool to allocate, particularly for labs. Sometimes you don't have one equipment to one student. You don't have. Sometimes you have 3 pieces of equipment to 2 students. And then you want to make sure that this pool, this ratio is maintained. The application does that as well.
The project, if we have 10 resources, then we have 3 projects, and we also
3 projects. What do you mean?
currently has 3 projects, let's say application we are running. So the resource will be divided into 3.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Also.
So the resources can be, the way it's done in Syllabus Plus and in Schedule is grouped by departments. So your departments can be a School of Engineering, School of Science. Then under the School of Science you may have sub-departments. Then the ownership of the resources are grouped by departments. Or you can put if it's central resources, let's say rooms, maybe it's owned by the school, the estate department. Then you create the estate department that's owning all these rooms. And then the estate department may share.
It require many data, like structural decision data, like
Yes.
yeah,
We need to. We need to look at your data, which usually is not a very big difference. Essentially, we look at room information, we're looking at staff information. How do you structure your data now? We'll model it in Syllabus Plus.
I ever use the application, not this application, but they are having a default schema data. So like you say, we have API, right? But what the difficult is not all information provide in schema database, your default schema database, or in the other hand, not all information in schema database via type. And the solution is we add 1 or more column in your schema database, right? And can be
Usually the schema will not, the staging table schema will change. So you need additional data to model. We will put in the staging table. Then we'll map the modeling into Syllabus Plus.
Jadi tadi report orangnya juga ada ya? Ya udah.
Oh, how about reporting? Can we custom the reporting?
Yeah, you can. But we have 60 reports already
By default.
by default. Yeah, all the just now you see the colors, the bar chart, the pie chart. Those are the 60. One of the 60 reports.
You can custom flexible.
You can custom, yes.
Kita tuh sampai report seperti ini, Mbak. The most busiest time in school gitu.
Time-nya kapan?
Hari apa, jam berapa mahasiswa tuh paling banyak.
Peak seasonnya itu.
Peak season. Kenapa ini sangat penting, Mbak? Kalau kayak di Singapura, jam-jam tertentu pas peak season ini langsung connect ke Depoknya lah, Pak, gitu MRT-nya. Itu MRT-nya nambah gerbong atau frekuensi lah yang lewat situ, Pak. Nah, untuk yang udah dipakai di kita itu kan reporter memang udah given ya, Pak ya. Yang paling sering make itu Andalas, Pak, Universitas Andalas. Karena dia itu kan kampusnya di Limomani, Pak.
Iya, jauh-jauhan.
Dia di atas, Mbak, di atas bukit. Angkot itu cuma sampai bawah, sampai masuk gitu. Nah, yang untuk narik ini bus gitu loh. Jadi dia jam-jam tertentu tuh udah bisa projection ininya. Atau plus juga kalau di Australia hitung-hitung satpam Pak. Polis schoolnya itu, jadi kan kalau mahasiswa makin banyak potensi potensi ini kan yang ini mesti lebih banyak gitu yang muter lah gitu. Nah itu masuk ke situ sampai ke kebersihan Pak. Jadi sebenarnya reporting ini untuk ini apa analisa Bapak untuk ke depan ya, bisa banyak.
Jadi kalau top manajemen kan pasti helikopter view semuanya tuh analisa harus dapat.
Nah jadi given aja udah 60 Pak, reportnya udah segala macam. Nanti kalau Bapak mau
performance dosen
special report ya mangga Pak.
So these are some reports. These are different rooms, the different utilization. All right, it can be very detailed to the hour or to the week itself. These are different weeks. These are the different rooms, and it tells you the utilization across different weeks. Or you can go into down to the hour itself. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, Monday to Friday. This is one of the rooms. And we just zoom in here. One of the rooms.
Sebenarnya untuk ini apa ya? Untuk
then you can see that utilization. Then here for this particular room is 51%.
Can you simulate one customer report how easy it can be? Because reporting is one of challenge in. Right.
The customer report is it's like I can't simulate now because I not set it up. But essentially it's like your crystal report, that kind of structure, the template that you create and you plug the fields in and set it up yourself. So and then you can have interesting reports like this basically. But this has been developed by us. Yeah. So for example here you have one which is PC Lab 2, all right, and you can see 81% red color, right, or 49% on average. So this is by the hour. Yes, this is by the hour, by the period. Okay. Then there are reports about not allocated, unallocated report.
We custom in syllabus plus also.
Yes. So this is for rooms. Then we have also things like staff loading.
Yeah, staff lecture work.
Staff loading is important. Okay, so again, you have staff loading. Different staff, okay, and their workload summary. Week 1, how many hours, week 2, so and so forth. Then give you a overall department workload. Okay. Right, so all these are very detailed, and I mean we have 60 reports.
Beban kerja dosen.
Beban kerja dosen, ya. Ya ini Mbak obatnya.
Ya cuma ya itu pada di bawah ya dari sini kan kita lihat lotnya, tapi kalau kita mau ngomongin dosen performance, we have to have publication, we have formula, nggak bisa lah hanya dengan output ini.
She's talking about staff workload planner. Kita ada modul tambahan juga itu nggak sampai itu, jadi sampai nge-track dia research berapa jam, community service-nya berapa jam, ini nggak ikut. Itu
Elo module.
Iya. Iya, jadi itu Mbak maunya itu kan.
Sebenarnya kebutuhan di sini banyak banget jadi maksudnya.
Maksudnya lewat yayasan. Karena tadi sebagian besar itu di rumah tangga. Kayak resource alokasi yang non akademik, kayaknya banyak juga. Itu yang menghandle rumah tangga.
Jadi yang kalau staff workload planner itu sampai dia misalnya buat soal, persiapan buat soal berapa jam, dia community service-nya berapa jam, ada berapa, karena itu kan ngitung beban kerja dosen untuk akreditasi,
gaji ya,
dan remunerasi, apalagi berhubungan sama sertifikat dosen. Nah itu dari sana Mbak. Kalau ini sebenarnya datanya bisa dicopot untuk PDPT.
It's actually this application.
Nah itu Mbak,
Staff
workload planner.
Yeah.
Ini Scientia itu apa sih?
It's the name of the main company that creates.
Oh,
Yeah. Nah kita Innovasi itu shareholdernya Sentia. Ini awalnya dari Cambridge Mbak, yang kita itu University of Cambridge.
Cambridge punya saham di Sentia.
Iya. Jadi badan usaha milik universitas lah Pak. Gitu.
Iya.
Bumu.
Bahasanya akademik banget.
Bumu. Nah kita itu kan perusahaan udah ini apa terbuka, ya, maksudnya Cambridge punya di situ, kita Innovasi juga punya di situ. Nah, tapi makanya untuk Southeast Asia tuh yang bawa brand ini tuh kita Pak, ininya prinsipalnya kita gitu.
Masuk yang after sales service gitu.
Kita semua.
This is another report. There's so many reports I'm losing track of.
Jadi Mbak juga bingung nanti mau milih report yang mana.
Yeah, so it's broken up by lecture, meeting, practical, teaching, tutorial, and this is the chart for it. Yeah. This from particular week to another week. So you can specify the different criteria in your search. There's an interface for you to search by what department, by which module, then by which date to which date. You know, the application will then generate all these reports. Then the report will be in PDF, Excel, CSV.
Is automatically by the application, or the lecturer must input the activity?
Automatically by the application.
Application.
There's a, if you look at this, the report manager. This is what it is. Yeah, but it's not set up now, so otherwise I'll write it.
So, jadi kita harus define dulu kan si kegiatan dosen itu apa aja.
Iya.
Iya, enggak. Itu kan di master data kan maksudnya kan. Di master data itu udah diplot kan gitu.
Report manager tuh ininya.
Jadi personal dosennya nggak ngikut kan?
Cuman aktivitasnya
Iya, didefinisikan aktivitasnya.
Setup rule-nya aja Pak. Bapak mau narik apa aja sih gitu loh di report manager itu.
Itu untuk yang konferensi gitu ya, itu tiap berapa lama? Setahun sekali? Setahun sekali. Rata-rata di mana diadakannya?
Oh macam-macam Pak. Ada di Singapura, terus New Zealand. Tahun ini di Melbourne University.
Indonesia belum pernah.
Kita sih pengennya di Bali Pak.
Kita belum pernah di Indonesia.
Belum pernah Pak, belum pernah.
Yeah, it's not set up. I'm sorry. I haven't set up. I haven't set up a report yet. But this is basically this manager.
Yeah.
Then it will give you the search criteria, you know, the range of dates that you want to see this report. Which is why every report has a range.
Kalau misalnya berjodoh nih Pak, kita bisa set up ini Pak di Bandung misalnya, di sini. Jadi itu yang semua itu aspek tuh bisa kita bikin datang ke sini. Bagusnya satu Pak, network sesama universitas tuh terbentuk Pak.
Iya, terbentuk.
Itu yang ini sih apa yang dicari gitu
Pak.
Pak. Saya belum berani Pak kalau misalnya di Bali hostingnya siapa gitu. Tiba-tiba orang universitas banyak
di Bali hostingnya gratis kan ininya. Nanti servisnya tahunannya kita bayar nggak Pak?
Okay.
Mohon maaf Pak, kayaknya kita ini saya mesti balik ke Husein ya.
Yeah, I'm going up to Manila today.
Okay.
So I have to fly to Singapore, catch another flight out to.
You are the only one person to in charge to have presentation this.
No, Pak Adi.
Oh, Pak Adi.
Pak Adi also can. Yeah, but because I'm coming through, so I thought I'd come back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Terima kasih banyak.